Another types of contractual relationship is franchising. When we say franchising, it is an arrangement in which the firm allows another the right to use an entire business system in exchange for fees, royalties, or other forms of compensation. Sabi nga, it is an advanced form of licensing in which the focal firm or the franchisor allows an entrepreneur or the franchise the right to use an entire business system in exchange for compensation. It is basically a right which manufacturers or businesses give to others. Franchise is a business whereby the owner licenses its operations along with its products, branding, and knowledge in exchange for a franchise fee. As with licensing, an explicit contract defines the term of the relationship. The well-established international franchisors are McDonald's, Subway, Hertz, and FedEx or the Federal Express Corporation. Business format franchising. It is a most typical arrangement in various types of franchising. The franchisor transfers to the franchisee a total business method, including the production and marketing methods, sales systems, procedures, and management, know-how, and use of its name. This is defined as distribution network operating under a shared trademark or trade name with franchisees paying the franchisor for the right to do business under the name for a specified period of time. In this, the integration of the business is more complete. It gets the entire system to operate the business and market the product and services. Most popular are fast food, retail, restaurant, business services, fitness, and others. Mostly, this is the preferred format of franchising in the hospitality industry. The franchisor also provides the franchisee with training, ongoing support, incentive programs, and the right to participate in cooperative marketing programs. In return, the franchisee compensates the franchisor, usually via a royalty representing a percentage of the franchisee's revenue. The franchisee may be required to purchase certain equipment and supplies from the franchisor to ensure standardized products and consistent quality. Franchising, a complementary strategy. While licensing relationships are often short-lived, the parties to franchising normally establish an ongoing relationship that may last many years. It can offer many benefits for both franchisors and franchisees, such as rapid and cost-effective expansion. The franchisor can expand their network without investing a lot of capital, time, and resources, and they collect fees and royalties. While franchisee is responsible for the cost and risk of opening and operating the business. Additionally, franchising can enhance the reputation and visibility of the franchisor's brand as well as create yung loyal customer base that trusts and prefers yung product or services offered by the franchise network. Also, it can ensure that standards are maintained across the franchise network which help improve quality and consistency. Dito, compared sa licensing, franchising usually a much more stable long-term entry strategy. Firms often combine franchising with other entry strategies. About 70% of more than 2,000 body shop stores worldwide are operated by franchisees, while the rest are owned by body shop headquarters. Large retailers such as IKEA and Carrefour often employ both franchising and FDI when expanding abroad. Moving on to franchising, more comprehensive than licensing. Here, franchising is more comprehensive than licensing because the franchisor prescribes virtually all business activities of the franchisee. Kasi yung relationship between franchisor and franchisee is more comprehensive and involves long-term commitment. Dito, they often offer extensive training assistance with site selection, marketing support, and ongoing operational guidance. While sa licensing naman, it more focus on granting rights to specific intellectual property or brand usage. The licensor may provide limited support or guidelines, but the licensee has more independence and control over their business operation. So sabi ko nga, franchisor tightly controls the business system to ensure yung consistent standards. They employ globally recognized trademarks and attempt to guarantee the customer a uniform and consistent retail experience and product quality. Completely standardized business activities are difficult to replicate across diverse markets. Differences in areas such as key ingredients, worker qualifications, and physical space necessitate changes to the franchise formula. Also, space restriction in Japan forced KFC to reconfigure its cooking equipment from a wide horizontal design to a narrower, more vertical design. Next naman is master franchisee. It is an arrangement in which an independent company is licensed to establish, develop, and manage the inter-franchising network and its markets and has the right to subprice to other franchisees. Assuming the role of local franchisor, some firms may choose to work with a single coordinating franchisee in a particular country or region. Dito, yung master franchisee has the right to subprice to other independent business like McDonald's in Japan. From the focal firm's perspective, the arrangement is the least capital and time intensive. The trade-off is that by delegating the responsibilities of identifying and working with its franchisees directly, it gives up considerable control over its foreign operations. The attractions of master franchising dito, franchisees prefer the arrangement because it provides an exclusive large predefined territory or often an entire country and substantial economies of scale from operating numerous sales outlets simultaneously. The franchisee gains access to approve the retailing and marketing concept and partnership with the corporate headquarters and master franchisees in other territories, which typically provide support, know-how, and the latest innovation in the field. So who are the top franchisors? We all know that franchising is a global phenomenon and accounts for a large proportion of international trade in services. Many product and service categories lend themselves to international franchising like fast food, outlets, health and fitness, professional business services, and home improvement products and services, and various types of retailers. The large country with 33 franchisors and dominates international franchising is the United States. That accounts for roughly $1 trillion in annual U.S. retail sales. Moving on to the advantages and disadvantages of franchising. The advantages of franchising is entry in numerous foreign markets can be accomplished quickly and cost-effectively. Dahil dito, they can improve its brand image and opening franchises abroad increase yung visibility and lends credibility to brand. Another is no need to invest substantial capital. For business owners, franchising can help reduce some of the financial burdens associated with growing a business. Unlike sa organic growth, an entrepreneur continues investing more of their own capital as they open new locations, and franchising provides opportunities for unit-level expansion, where the franchisee supplies the capital for the franchise location they bought. Also establish brand name and encourages entry and ongoing sales potential abroad. Dito, no matter what product or service a business provides, kailangan ng strong brand to recognize the franchise network, brand awareness impact both franchisor and franchisee dahil it attracts customers. Effective branding not only raises yung awareness sa products or services offered, but also nagsiset ito ng expectation in the minds of potential customers regarding sa experience na meron sila. The last one advantage is firms can leverage franchisees' knowledge to efficiently navigate and develop local markets. Dito, franchisee often have a deep understanding of their local market and customer preferences. This local knowledge can help tailor the business to better serve the specific needs of the community. So, ang disadvantages naman ng franchising is maintaining control over franchisee. Kapag nagkaroon ng loss of control, the flip side to the franchisee being responsible sa day-to-day operation ng isang business is masisira or magkakaroon ng malaking problema. Also, in order para ma-maintain yung consistency in the quality ng product or service, kailangan ng system and processes are clearly documented and yung franchise documents adequately support yung franchise compliance. Another disadvantages naman is have conflicts with franchisee. One of the most benefits of owning a franchise is network of support you receive, but it is also has the potential for conflict. Any close business relationship, especially if merong imbalance of power, magkakaroon ng risk sa isang business. A franchise agreement states yung expectation of both franchisee and franchisor, while yung franchisee has minimal power to enforce the franchise agreement without a costly legal battle. So kaya, yung franchisor should screen all potential franchisees before entering into business, and as the franchisor, it also use their opportunity to get a feel for the franchisor's personality and management styles. The third one na disadvantages naman ng franchising is challenge in preserving franchisor's image and the foreign market. The fourth one disadvantages naman is requires monitoring and evaluating performance of franchisees and provide ongoing assistance. And lastly is franchisees may take advantage of acquired knowledge and become competitors in the future. So, next naman tayo is the franchisor perspective. For the franchisor, franchising is a low-risk, low-cost entry strategy. It offers the ability to develop new and distant international markets relatively quickly and on a larger scale than possible for most non-franchise firms. Franchisor can generate additional profit with only small incremental investment in capital, personnel, and distribution. A major disadvantages to the franchisor is the need to maintain control over potentially thousands of outlets worldwide. Kasi when dealing in numerous complex international markets, yung risk of creating competitors is substantial and kailangan ng franchisor na ma-disclose yung business, secrets, and detailed knowledge. Then, the franchisee perspective. From the perspective of the franchisee, franchising is especially beneficial to the SME. Most small firms lack substantial resources or strong managerial skills. Pero ang big advantages naman ng franchising sa franchisee is yung ability to launch a business using a tested business model. In essence, franchising amounts to cloning best practices kasi it greatly increases the small firm's chances for success by duplicating a tried and true business format. Other contractual entry strategies. First is turnkey contracting. It refers to an arrangement where the focal firms are a consortium of firms plan, finance, organize, manage, and implement all phases of a project abroad and then hand it over to a foreign country after training local personnel. Dito, contractors are firms in construction, engineering, design, and architectural services. Typically, a major facility and then handed over to the project sponsor, often a national government. Example of turnkey projects as among the most popular projects are extension and upgrades to metro systems, such as bridges, roadways, and railways. Next is Build, Operate, Transfer or BOT. Under a Build, Operate, Transfer arrangement, the firm contracts to build a major facility abroad such as a dam or water treatment plant, operates the facility for a specified period, and then transfer its ownership to the project sponsor, typically the host country government or public utility. Ito is a variation of turnkey constructing instead of turning the completed facility to the project sponsor. Sa BOT, the builder operates it for a number of years before transferring ownership to the sponsor. Example projects in a typical deal is a consortium, a private multinational finances, contractors, and advisors joins together to finance, design, construct, and operate the facility. The third one is management contract. Under a management contract, managerial know-how to operate a hotel resort, a contractor supplies hospital, airport, or other facility in exchange for compensation. In contrast to licensing or franchising, management contracts involve specialized know-how as well as actual operation of a facility. Contractor provides its unique expertise in running a facility without actually owning it. Kasi dito yung clients na nagre-receive ng assistance in managing local operation, while the management company generates revenues without having to make a capital outlay. Next is international leasing. Ito is another contractual strategy in which focal firm or the lessor rents out machinery or equipment to corporate or government clients abroad, or the lessees, often for several years at a time. The lessor retains ownership of the property throughout the lease period and receive regular lease payment from the lessee. From the perspective naman ng lessee, leasing help reduce its cost of using needed machinery and equipment, major advantage for the lessor as the ability to gain. Management of licensing and franchising. Licensing and franchising are complex undertakings and they require skillful research, planning, and execution. The firms must conduct advanced research on the host country laws, on intellectual property rights, repatriation of royalties, and contracting with local partners. Key challenges include establishing whose national law takes precedence for interpreting and enforcing the contract, deciding whether to grant an exclusive or non-exclusive arrangement, and determining the geographic scope of territory to be granted to the foreign partner. By safeguarding intellectual property, working with independent partners through contractual arrangement provides the focal firm with only moderate and control over foreign partners. Also, law that governs contractual relations are not always clear. Conflicts arise due to cultural and language differences, and contract enforcement abroad is often costly or unattainable. In addition to devising a strong contract, the focal firm should emphasize developing a close, trusting relationship with foreign partners. The focal firm can enhance the relationship by providing the foreign partner with superior resources and strong support. Infringement of IP rights or IPR, a global problem. It is the unauthorized use, publication, or reproduction of its product and services that are supported by a patent, copyright, trademark, or other intellectual property rights. Violation of IPR is known as piracy. Infringement of intellectual assets often results in the production and distribution of counterfeit or fake products or services that imitate the original produced by the asset's owners. Estimated losses from piracy are estimated to be $120 million in Brazil or movies, $510 million in China, entertainment software, and $800 million in Russia or the business software. Moving on to the managerial guidelines for protecting IP. In advanced economies, intellectual property is usually protected within established legal systems and methods of recourse. A firm can initiate legal action against someone who steals its intellectual assets and will usually achieve a satisfactory remedy. Advanced economies have signed treaties that support the international protection of IPRs. These include the Paris Convention for the Protection of Intellectual Property, the Berne Convention for the Protection of Literary and Artistic Works, and the Rome Convention for the Protection of Performers and Broadcasting Organizations, all administered by WIPO. Recently, the World Trade Organization created the Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights, or TRIPS, to cover various intellectual property, including patents, copyrights, trademarks, industrial designs, and trade secrets. TRIPS lay out enforcement and dispute resolution procedures. Intellectual property rights protection outside of World Intellectual Property Organization and trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. Rights granted by a patent, trademark, registration, or copyright apply only in the country where they are obtained. They confer no protection abroad. Some governments may pursue priorities other than rewarding and promoting innovation, such as gaining access to and affordability of new technologies. In each country, IP protection varies as a function of local laws, administrative practices, and treaty obligation. IPR enforcement depends on the attitudes of local officials, substantive requirements of the law, and court procedures. As a result, former licensees and franchisees can launch businesses with proprietary knowledge. Understanding local IP laws and enforcement procedures, especially when exposed assets, are very valuable. For each target country, determine how easily licensed assets can be replicated. Avoiding countries with weak IP laws, governments in each country where the firms does or intend to do business is registered the patents, trademarks, trade secrets, and copyrights with the government. Also register in countries known to be sources of counterfeit products and ensure that licensing and franchising agreements provide for oversight to ensure IP is used as intended. That's all. Thank you for listening.